free kick?
No, I knew the free kick was shooting distance, and I don't know, I felt like that side of the goal was open. So I tried to, finish it as well as I could.
Yeah, with all the injuries you've had, like it's your first goal in 2 years. How did it feel for that to go in the back of the net?
No, I mean, there was a period where I was scoring quite frequent, and I haven't had that feeling in quite a long time, through injuries and, setbacks. So I'm happy to be, back with the team, and, I'm happy to get on the score sheet again and help the team get a point.
Yeah. On balance, would you say a point is a fair reflection of that game?
To be honest, I don't. I think we had a few clear-cut chances that we should have taken in the first half and maybe put the game to bed. But if you don't take chances, sometimes that can come back to bite you in the arse.
Does that seem to be an ongoing issue at Chelsea at the moment, especially in the last 5 games, that you're just not taking your chances?
Well, I think it's across football. Globally, if you have chances in a game and you don't take them, then it could come back and hurt you.
Would you say Bournemouth were lucky not to go down to 10 in the second half?
To be fair, I didn't really see what happened, but when the referee ever goes to look at the monitor, it's usually never a good sign.
Is that a performance, or certainly a result, a fighting point that helps you to get the momentum back into your stride?
No, I mean there's positives to take away from the game. Going behind to come back and take a point, but there's negatives as well, not taking the chances we should. It's mixed emotions.
Yeah, you had players like Lavia back. What a difference do you think that he made to midfield today?
No, Lavia is he's an amazing player. He's had some injury problems as well, but whenever he's playing with us, he helps excel the way we want to play.
Lastly, Tuchel in attendance. Do you like to remind him what you can do?
Yeah, I mean, I worked under him. He knows my capabilities. I just need to get a run at games playing again.
Reece, good luck. Thank you.
Yes, the England man. It was a good game, wasn't it? I think they'll both take something from it. We talked about who more. You think probably both thought Bournemouth more.
Yeah, definitely Bournemouth. Second half, they were brilliant. Semenyo was exceptional. We talked about him before the game. Obviously, he got the goal, and then he's defending, tracking back, when it was getting tight at the end. But I think Chelsea, this is a bit of a trend now. They can't see teams off. It happened against Palace. It happened against Ipswich. They get ahead, they dominate, and then they can't see teams out, let teams back in it, and then it's a disappointment. The last 5 games, that's been the trend. They've got to fix that. They've got to figure out how to see teams out of games and really dominate and win the game.
But there's something, as we all stood in the corner and waited to come and talk about a defeat, in not allowing that to be, and Reece James stepping up and delivering.
They showed character. You look at the positives. You look at the start of the game. It was electric, and then we were saying how much they enjoyed themselves. But go character. Reece James coming back from injury. He's had a hellish time. It's horrible. I've been in that situation when your body's letting you down, and that moment will mean so much. I think the keeper's blindsided. The keeper's blindsided there, and you always say to goalkeepers, if you get beat on the wall side, it's your problem. But he's hit it. It's gone in off the post. I'm just really pleased.
He spotted the gap.
Yeah,
he spotted the gap. And him and Cole Palmer were talking just before, and you could see Cole Palmer going, "You have it," because I think there was an expectation maybe for Cole Palmer to take it. I think he's tricked him a little bit there.
And having 2 wizards, left footer and a right footer, that affects the goalkeeper's position. It might only be by 6 inches here,
because he takes a little weight to the other side, doesn't he, Travers, and then he can't get across.
Yeah, and listen, I don't blame the goalkeeper. I think it's a fantastic finish.
And it started so well as well, didn't it, Chelsea? In between there was a few issues, but at the start of the game they came out of the traps good, didn't they? And this was a lovely goal.
We said it at half-time, they looked like they were really having fun out there. It's a brilliant play from Nicholas Jackson and a brilliant run from Cole Palmer. And I mean, this is cool stuff from Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer doing Cole Palmer stuff. Yeah. The only criticism I have for Chelsea is I think they're a bit too dependent on him doing these. I think when Cole Palmer's not scoring, someone else has got to step up, whether it's Jackson finishes in chances, a bit more personality. I was a bit surprised when Kunku didn't come on today because he's got goals in him as well. But, this player, he's exceptional. And I think Chelsea have just got to figure out, without him scoring goals, what else? Yeah. What else have they got?
Yeah, I thought, there's so much quality. It's Nkunku, you've got João Felix coming off Neto. There's so much ability. So much. They just need to find that last little bit to see teams off. Yeah,
I guess the fact that Bournemouth have done so well in games like this season, beaten big name sides, that's probably what fuels their belief that they keep going. They get back into the game.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear from the manager just the mentality now against these big sides. They've beaten Arsenal, Spurs, Man United. great point today against Chelsea. You know, clearly the mentality now, even though, you know, Bournemouth, they're like, we're not bothered if it's a big team. You know, we can make them uncomfortable. We can score goals. You know, they've got players like Semenyo that can score goals.
Yeah.
So it's really good to see the mentality from Bournemouth coming into these big games.
Yeah, this is obviously relatively early in the second half. They go on the front foot, Bournemouth. Whatever's been said at half-time, again, it's really galvanised them. And Caicedo, it's clever from Semenyo, isn't it? Because he gets across him and then he's got nowhere to go.
Listen, you know, this is systems. Caicedo's looking to, he's rotating him to midfield, and when you're on a quick counter-attack, so you're going to be out of position, and you've got to be really calm there. You can't make the tackle. Caicedo's lunging in. Semenyo does well, cuts across. He misses a penalty, and Kluivert dispatches it. You know, that's his 6 in a row.
Yeah.
You know, he's turned into a bit of a specialist.
He always goes down the middle. This is very smart. You know, he sort of waits for the goalkeeper to move and goes down the middle, which I think is underrated with penalties. Sometimes I think players feel like they've got to go either side. Sometimes going down the middle, you know, it gets the
until
result
some
you need.
goalie's brave enough to stand still, and then he's going to have to change his plan.
It rarely happens.
It rarely happens, it's true. And then one gets 2. Semenyo, again, obviously goal scorer. Is it tough on Achiampong that he gets kind of done down the outside?
It's difficult. It's a great touch there, and then he sizes him up. No, not an Achiampong. That is a lovely finish. And this is a top quality player. Athleticism, he receives the ball on the back foot, bang, then he's at him, stands him up, and you have to go high. If you go near, you have to go high. You know, the goalkeeper can't. It's gone past him before the goalkeeper can react. Some people might say you know you don't get beat on the near post, but I think that's a blanket statement. I think when it's hit with that much pace and venom, look, he hasn't even got a chance to move his hands there. It's just a fantastic finish from Semenyo, who was, I think, the player on the pitch tonight. I thought we done, apart from the goal and winning the penalty and everything else, defensively, breaking the lines, everything he done was outstanding.
There's plenty more for us still to sort out before we're done. We'll hear, we hope, from I feel aggrieved about is the decision to yellow card rather than red card David Brooks for a, shall we call it, a coming together with Mark Cucurella.
I think it was a bit of more than a coming together.
They'd had their ongoing spat, hadn't they, during the whole game?
Listen, I think Brooks is lucky to get a yellow card. Yeah, I think it's very clear that he's stopped Cucurella on the counter attack. He's come into contact with him. It's pretty much a WWF style clothesline, to be honest with you. But listen, I don't mind referees using a bit of discretion here, because there was a bit of coming together in the first half with Cucurella and Brooks. He didn't give Cucurella a yellow card, and he's maybe tried to balance it out. All things considered, he's given him a yellow card. I'm all right with that. Do you know what I mean? Other people will say, yeah, but you know the rules of the game, it's got to be black and white, but referees, I think, have the discretion to go, do you know what, actually, balance it out, yellow card for now, and you move on.
We heard from PGMOL during the game. They were, as they sometimes can be, quick to put their point of view. They said, in the view of the ref who had a look, it was reckless but not dangerous. Yeah,
I think that, you know, it's a difficult job for them, right? Because they're trying to put words on it. What was that incident? That was an incident where Cucurella has done Brooks early on. Cucurella's as good as there is in world football at the dark arts. He'll run into people. We've seen him rolling around. We've seen him, you know, he's one of them types of players that he wouldn't have got away with that in the 90s and the 90s because players would have sorted him out. But Brooks, you know, he's had a rush of blood. He's seen it. He saw his opportunity, and he's done him. So in that sense, and he's right. It's a red card, rule of the law. But I like it. I like it when referees can look at the player, understand the character, understand, you know, Brooks' frustration because Brooks, we all thought he was going off with concussion in the first half because he's running to Cucurella's elbow. I don't mind referees having that ability, but when the PGML start to put names on it, it's a very difficult situation for the ref, and I thought it was the right decision. Although I can understand Chelsea, and you know, I'm Chelsea. I would have wanted Chelsea to play against 10 men and win the game, but I like refereeing a game like that. I think it stops all of the nonsense, you know, the players going down, holding their face and all that, which we don't like to see.
Final thought on your old team, Chelsea?
Yeah, I just think they need to sort out the second half of games, you know, and really ramp it up. Don't get too comfortable with good performances in the first half. Try to see teams out and be a bit more clinical, less dependent on Cole Palmer. Can other players step up and score goals as well? Yeah. OK, before we go, obviously plenty more going on and coming your way in the Premier League.